Do you want to be able to easily have conversations in English? In today's lesson, I'll show you how.
You're probably already aware that improving your speaking skills can have a positive impact on your professional life and personal goals. Understanding the natural flow of English conversations will give you the confidence you need to speak naturally in any situation. In today's lesson, we'll look at 5 of the most essential conversation skills you need in English and why you should learn them. I'll share some useful vocabulary that you can use in almost any conversation. If this sounds like something that you can relate to, then why not join our community of over 370,000 by simply hitting that subscribe button and bell down below so you never miss out on any of our new lessons. Before you can even start speaking, you want to be able to understand the situation or topic you're about to talk about. That's where the 5W questions come in. In English, we use the 5W questions to gather information. Those W's are who, what, when, where, and why. In conversation, the 5W questions help us to understand and communicate about the world around us. Asking the questions who, what, when, where, and why are important because they help us to get all the information we need to analyze and describe a situation. When I studied journalism at university, this was a technique we learned in order to gather all the information we needed to accurately tell a story. Let's use an everyday example. People often ask me about my job, so I'll answer using the 5 W's. Since I'm talking about my job, perhaps I can start the W's with what. To answer this question, ask yourself, what's happening? What is the action taking place? The answer? I create English lessons to help learners communicate confidently and naturally in the real world. When? This could refer to a specific time of the day, morning, afternoon, or evening, or it could refer to a particular day, month, or year. The answer? We publish content every Monday to Saturday. Who? To answer this question, you have to ask who are the people involved. The answer? The people involved are myself, of course, and the RealLife global team. Why? This has to do with the reason or motivation behind the action. The answer? To be able to guide learners to live, speak, and master English in the real world. Note that by doing this, we're analyzing the situation in English. Now, if you want to practice thinking in English, this is a great technique to use because you can do it anywhere and in any situation. And the final W is where. This refers to the specific location or platforms in this case. Our content is published on our Real Life English as well as Learn English with TV YouTube channels, on our podcast, and on Instagram. But most importantly, you can find our content on our Real Life English app. This is the only place where anytime, anywhere, at the press of a button, you can connect with English learners from around the world. You can have fascinating conversations about your life, your hobbies, your passions, absolutely anything. This will take you from feeling like a lost and insecure English learner to being a confident and natural English speaker. So download it now for free by clicking up here or down in the description below, or simply search for Real Life English in your favorite app store. You may have trouble speaking fluently if you're unsure about grammar or vocabulary. However, stopping a lot when you talk can make it difficult for others to understand what you're saying. This is why it's useful to know how to use filler words and phrases. Even native speakers use filler words, and we use them often. These words are an important part of sounding natural when you speak English. You're allowed to pause and think, or to be unsure of how to answer, or even to forget the right word to use in a particular situation. The trick is knowing the right filler words to use while you put your thoughts together. Can you identify the fillers in this sentence? Excuse me, do you mind, turning the music down just a little bit? I'm filming a lesson here. I use the fillers and Some common examples of fillers are to be honest, actually, and right. Besides giving you more time to think, filler words are used for a number of reasons. You can use fillers to make a statement less harsh. When your friend has something in their teeth, you could say, you have something in your teeth, but that might embarrass them. So it might be nicer to say something like, well, you have a little, something in your teeth. This is less direct and less likely to embarrass them. Fillers can be used to make a statement weaker or stronger. They can be used to change the sentence tone or the attitude of the sentence. See how different these 3 sentences sound. I think rabbits are cute. This is just a regular statement. Actually, I think rabbits are cute. This shows contrast. It shows that someone else doesn't agree with you. At the end of the day, I think rabbits are cute. This is something you might say at the end of a discussion about whether or not rabbits are ugly or cute. Fillers include the listener in the conversation without ending your speaking turn. A conversation takes at least 2 people, and fillers can sometimes help include the other person. It's a bit like reaching out to them to keep their attention during the conversation. For example, it was a really awesome show, you know? Listener might nod in agreement without ending your speaking turn. The 3rd tip is clarifying what you heard. As language learners, we've all been in situations where someone speaks too fast, uses a word or phrase we don't know, or just generally speaks unclearly. And this leaves us feeling like we're not sure if we understood what they were trying to say. In situations like these, you should not feel embarrassed or assume that it's because of your language ability. If you feel like you missed a keyword or phrase during a conversation, there are a number of questions you can use to clarify what you heard. I don't think I quite understand what you meant. Do you mind repeating it? Please could you go over that one more time? I'm not sure I understood. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I didn't catch that. Could you say it one more time, please? After the person clarifies, another skill you need is to be able to confirm your understanding. Restating the person's idea is a great way to show that you were actually listening. It also helps the other person clarify or simplify if you misheard or misunderstood what was said. Restating ideas is an excellent way to avoid misunderstandings and also gives you an opportunity to clarify information without directly saying that you didn't understand everything. Here are a few examples. I'd just like to confirm if I understood that correctly. If I understand you correctly, you're saying that my impression of what you said was, is that what you meant? Now that you've confirmed your understanding, you might want to change the topic of conversation. You might want to change the topic of conversation if you have something more interesting to share, or if the current topic is too difficult or makes you feel uncomfortable. The simplest way to do that is to ask a question that is slightly related to the current topic. By asking a related question, you give the other person a chance to talk more about a topic that they're clearly interested in. For example, if the conversation is about soccer and you find it really boring, but you enjoy CrossFit, you might say something like, speaking of sport, have you been following the recent CrossFit Games in Wisconsin? In order to do this well, you want to acknowledge or recognize what the other person was just talking about and then find a way to move on. Here are a few expressions you could use. Speaking of sports, have you heard about the CrossFit Games? That reminds me, have you heard about the CrossFit Games? Funny that you should mention that. I was recently watching the CrossFit Games. If you choose not to connect the topics at all, you could say, changing gears a little bit, will you be going to the concert on Saturday? Changing the topic slightly, will you be going to the concert on Saturday? Totally unrelated, but I cannot wait to go to the concert on Saturday. Remember, knowing how to smoothly move on to a new topic of conversation will help you to feel confident when speaking English. Before you continue watching, why not pause the video and let us know down in the comments, do you want to learn more about conversation skills? Share your answer below and don't forget to add an encouraging message to the rest of the community. To recap, here are the tips we covered in today's lesson. Practice using the 5 W's. Use filler phrases and words. Clarifying what you heard. Confirm your understanding. Change the topic of conversation. Also, if you have any questions about today's lesson, head over to our Instagram at reallife.english. Check out our stories every Monday and Friday. You'll find a question box where you can share any thoughts or questions you have about the lesson. So if you enjoyed today's lesson, why not check out this one next? Being able to do this is a major win. Again, this doesn't mean speaking English perfectly. It means that you're comfortable enough to be who you are and that you realize that speaking English is just a tool for communication. For example, if you're naturally funny in your native language, you want to be able to use your sense of humor in English as well. In this case, it might help to have a speaking partner. This way you could practice telling jokes or simply just being yourself in English. This is one of the many benefits of using our Real Life English app.